one of Nigeria's biggest companies, may soon be trading in London. Not New York, not Toronto, in London. And this move could completely change the future of Nigeria stocks, foreign investment into Nigeria, and even the way you invest on the Nigerian stock market. But here's the interesting part. This is not about Dangote, because hidden behind this planned London listing is a much bigger story about money, global power, foreign investors, and why Nigerian companies may slowly begin moving beyond the Nigerian exchange. So the big question is this a bullish opportunity for investors or the beginning of capital slowly leaving Nigeria? Join me to break it all down. If you are new here, this channel breaks down NGX stocks, wealth creation, investment opportunity, and the financial stories shaping Nigeria's future. So if you want deeper investing insights backed by real data that are verifiable, subscribe to this channel now, not to miss what we have to serve. So let us talk about the Dangote Cement London listing, because most people still don't understand what is really about to happen. I will divide this video into 6 parts for deeper perspective. Part 1, we'll look at what exactly is Dangote planning. According to reports from Reuters and Financial Times, Dangote Cement is exploring a listing on the London Stock Exchange. I've seen so many people misinterpret this consideration. Dangote Cement is not abandoning the Nigerian exchange. It is likely going to be what is called a secondary listing. This means the stock still trades in the NGX, with NGX being its primary market, but also trading in London too. And reports suggest that the company could sell about 10% of its shares to global investors. Now, at first glance, this sounds simple, right? But beneath the surface, this move is massive, because Dangote Cement is already one of the most valuable companies in Nigeria, with a market capitalization of about 17 trillion naira, with a plan to expand production from 60 million tons annually to 100 million tons annually by 2030. Foreign listing will see the capital inflow it needs to execute this scale. And once a Nigerian company starts trading internationally, everything changes. We will start seeing other NGX stocks trying to toe that path. Now let's jump into part 2 of the video, which will look at why is it that it is London that Dangote chose to be listed. Now here is the real question. Why would a Nigerian company want to list in London? It's simple. Money, but not just any kind of money. Global institutional money. Now look, the Nigerian market is relatively small compared to the London market. Foreign pension funds, sovereign wealth funds, hedge funds, and institutional investors manage trillions of dollars, and many of them struggle to invest directly in Nigeria because of FX concern, liquidity problem, naira volatility, and market accessibility. But listing in London changes that automatically. Suddenly, global investors can access the market easier, foreign capital will improve, and Dangote Cement gains worldwide visibility. And this could potentially increase the company's valuation over time. But there is another hidden reason nobody is currently talking about. That is prestige. A London listing tells the world this is not just a Nigerian company anymore. With giant investment advisors such as Citigroup, Standard Bank, JP Morgan, and the likes, Dangote Cement will turn into a global company, and that will change how global investors see the company. So in part 3, we'll look at the nuances most investors are missing out on. Now this is where things get really interesting, because a London listing is not automatically good news, right? There are hidden complications that lies with these London listings. First, London investors are much more demanding. They would expect stronger corporate governance, deeper transparency, quarterly discipline, and higher reporting standards. They will want to check to see whether the CEO had run a global blue chip company before now. They will check that financial reports are published as at when due or when expected, and the figures totally match what is on ground. That is, it is verifiable by genuine data. So that could mean that Dangote Cement could face much heavier scrutiny than it currently faces locally. Secondly, the listing is not guaranteed. The company itself reportedly stated that discussions are still preliminary, meaning legislators' market conditions or valuation disagreement could still impact the listing potential. So it is quite far from guaranteed. The third nuance we look at is global exposure also means global volatility. If foreign investors panic during global crisis, Dangote Cement shares could also become more sensitive to international market sell-offs. You see how NGX stocks are not affected by the current Iran-US war still ongoing, while global company share prices tends to be tanking. So yes, the upside is huge, but the risks are real too. So in part 4, we'll look at how these listings could affect Dangote Cement stock on the NGX. Now let us talk about what Nigerian investors actually care about, right? What happens to the stock on the NGX? In the short term, this is likely bullish. So you may ask why. It is because market love foreign investor stories, global expansion narrative, and institutional validation. We saw it on its share price last week. The price was reaching all-time highs back to back when the news just came out. The London listings could increase investors' confidence, liquidity, and demand for Dangote Cement shares. But here is the deeper long-term concerns, right? What if trading activities slowly shift away from Nigeria? Right, that is a very big possibility. You must know that once a stock becomes actively traded abroad, some institutional investors may prefer the London market instead of the NGX. That could eventually reduce local trading activity over time, and this creates a bigger national question. Could Nigeria slowly become a feeder market where its best companies eventually migrate liquidity abroad? That there is the strategic issues that regulators will need to think about moving forward. If you can relate to any of this and you are getting value from this video, please hit that subscribe button now, and don't forget to like and share this video with that person you know that needs to see this. So now let's get back to the video. So on part 5, we'll look at the bigger story nobody is currently talking about, right? Now here is why this story matters beyond Dangote Cement. If this listing succeeds, other Nigerian companies may actually follow suit. Just imagine that Bua Cement, MTN, or even major banks start seeking more international listing. That could transform the entire Nigeria capital market. And also, it may force better transparency, stronger governance, and more global investor attention on Nigerian stocks. If you look at this through different lenses, this could be the beginning of Nigerian companies integrating deeper into global finance. And if that happens, the NGX of the next 10 years may look very different from the NGX of today. To round up everything, here is the bottom line in my own opinion. Dangote Cement planned London listing is more than just another corporate announcement. It is a global capital story, a Nigerian market story, and potentially the start of a new era for African companies. There are several companies that have told this path in other African countries. We have the likes of Sasol Limited. This is an energy and chemical giant in Joburg, and it trades internationally on the New York Stock Exchange. We also have the Sibanye Steel Waters Limited of same Joburg, trading in the New York Stock Exchange, and so many others that are too many to mention. Now, for investors, this could create new opportunities with higher valuations and stronger foreign participation. But it also introduces new risk, global volatility, and questions about the future role of the Nigerian exchange itself. Just look at it this way. Institutional investors may prefer putting their money in the same company, but in a larger market with more stable currency than in a narrow market and risk steep currency volatility. The real question now is, will this move strengthen Nigeria's market or slowly shift power away from it? I think that is the conversation investors should really be having now. So, do you think Dangote Cement listing in London is good or bad for Nigerian investors? Because we are only getting started. Comment below your thoughts. Just so you know, I read and respond to all comments. See you in the comment section. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you have not already. So you may want to check out this video over here to see a particular strategy called asymmetry strategy that will show you how you can turn 50,000 naira into 250,000 naira in the Nigerian stock market. Remember guys, that wealth is not luck. Wealth comes from information followed with execution. Until I see you again, I salute.